video class. Everyone's at home, and it's really important that we keep our equanimity, right? So I talk about that all the time in class. Staying calm, stay with your practice. As you can see, I don't have a mat, I have no props. All I have is this blanket, and you can use a nice thick towel. This is all we need for practice today. I'm going to do an hour-long yin practice, and I'm just so happy to be here in the studio, and I'm so happy to be with all of you. I don't know who you are, but that's okay. So let's start with hands on knees. Get into a comfortable seated pose, however that is for you. If your knee is bothering you, extend it like that, okay? So just comfortable. Take one hand over your heart, take the other hand over that, and we'll do the practice that I've been teaching. You may remember, if you've taken my class, the practice on mindfulness of equanimity, right? Mindfulness of self-compassion. So the first part of that is when you place your hands on your own body, just like this, it lowers your anxiety. It does that scientifically. It lowers the anxiety. It releases oxytocin. The second is to acknowledge what is it. So what is it right now for all of us? Difficulty, difficult times, uncertainty, maybe fear. And the third part of it is to sort of give yourself some inner dialogue, the way that you would talk to somebody that you loved a great deal, like a family member or someone that you loved. So I'm acknowledging I'm in a place of some fear, some uncertainty. Will everybody be okay? Will my family, will my students? So that's what it is for me. Okay, so what is it for you? Acknowledge what that is. The second piece, I've placed my hands here. I can already feel the warmth penetrating, deep into my heart center. The third part is offering myself some inner dialogue, and I'll say it out loud. It's okay to be in a fear place. It's normal and it's natural to feel uncertain, to be a little fearful. But I'm going to come together with my physical, my emotional, my mental practice. I'm going to stay on my mat. I'm going to stay with my meditation practice. I'm going to stay in a place of equanimity, and everything will be as it should be, and everything will be fine. So already I feel better. So maybe give that a try. Okay, so let's start with our first yin pose. So I'm going to come down just flat. You can come down flat on a rug, on a mat if you choose. I'm going to take your right knee up towards your chest. I'm coming down. Right knee's going to come to chest. And take your fingertips on your knee, just like that. Nice light touch. And make some circles. Nice and slow. Just noticing places of gripping, places of tension. And then kind of going in the other direction. And then bringing knee right up to your chest and wrap arms around the knee here, or you can wrap your hands right here, okay? So either one. And just rest here. We'll stay for a few minutes. So noticing as you're in these long-held yin poses, sometimes our mind can kind of take off and go right back to that place of fear or anxiety or uncertainty. Notice that. Don't judge it. It's okay if that happens. Bring yourself back to the awareness of your breath. Where do you feel the breath moving in your body? And I'm noticing right now that I feel it inside my nose. It feels cool when I inhale. It feels warm when I exhale. I'm also noticing the movement of the belly with the breath. So staying with the awareness of movement of breath in your body. The temperature, the quality of your breathing, the direction, and mind will wander. Bring it right back. Breath, all about the breath. And at this point, maybe closing your eyes and just being present in your body with your breath. That's all you have to do. Being right here, right now, together, you and I. And then take your right foot up towards the ceiling, so flex the foot. Take your right knee out to the outer edge of your underarm, and you can take your hand on the arch of the foot. You could hold your big toe. You could hold the back of your leg like that, whatever works for you. So I'm gonna hold the inside of the arch of the foot and kind of bringing the knee down towards the outer underarm on the right side. And notice how I might be leaning. That's okay. Maybe take the left leg out to the side a little bit, just like that. And then if you feel comfortable, close your eyes. Just enjoy the sensation of this yin pose. If you're feeling the anxiety still with you, place a hand on your heart, or a hand on your belly, whatever works for you, or maybe even on your throat, like that. And close your eyes and go back to the awareness of how you feel the breath moving in your body. And you may notice that the mind is distracted and the thoughts are coming. That's okay. Let them come and then let them just float away. And don't judge it. Stay with sensation. Soften your eyes, soften your jaw, and soften your tongue in your mouth. If the inside of your mouth feels dry, then it's just an indication that you're still a little bit in that place of stress and anxiety. As soon as you start feeling a sense of sweetness in your mouth, then you know your practice is working. So be really aware of that. Okay, releasing your knee, bringing your knee, hands back on the knee. Relaxing shoulders. The only muscles to use are just the hand muscles holding on. Let the arms and shoulders just hang here freely. And now the awareness of my breath is now in my belly. It's shifted, and now it's in the belly because I can feel my belly rising up to touch my thigh as I inhale, and I can feel my belly sinking down as I exhale. So notice where you feel the breath now. Has it changed? And then take your left hand on your right knee. You're going to draw it across your body like that. And let your right toe sort of hook behind the left knee. Keep the right shoulder blade down. And then if you find that this is too much, you can take your folded towel or your folded blanket and you can support yourself like that. You can take your arms here like a goalpost or goddess arms, which feels really nice. Or you could rest your left hand on your knee. I think I'll do that. This feels really good. And couple of little awarenesses. Really think about the rib cage rotating up towards the ceiling, the right hip pressing away. check in again. Notice how it tastes inside of your mouth. Are you starting to feel a sense of sweetness in your mouth? And as I'm just talking now, I just got that. So practice is working. And then float your right arm down, take your knee back up, take your hand back on the knee, making some circles. Take the right leg up, and then soften the foot, and then use your hands behind the thigh and draw the leg. Again, once your hands are behind your thigh, then your arms and shoulders can just be soft. And that's enough to take you. You don't have to try to create this pose. Yin is about allowing the pose to happen, allow the pose to unfold. It's sometimes really necessary to practice yin yoga, not only for your body, but also for your emotions and mind. It's perfectly appropriate to let things just settle and be as they are. So we don't have control over a lot of things in our life right now. So we step back, and what works for me, I step back, I do my prayer, I do my equanimity, I do my gratitude practice, and then I just let things fall where they may. The yang part of life is doing all the necessary things, keeping distance from each other, washing hands, and I've been using my neti spray in the morning and at night. So that's the yang part. What can I do? And then the yin part is what is out of my control? And this is out of my control in all of us. So stepping back, being safe, and just letting things fall where they may. And all of this will just drift right by, just like a river, right? Okay, so now extend the right leg all the way down. Move this over. And I'm noticing my whole right side feels closer to the ground. My right leg feels a couple inches taller or longer. So if I left here right now, I'd probably be limping away with one leg longer than the other. That's supposed to be a joke. Okay, so now taking the left knee up. I can hear you guys laughing too. Take your left knee up into folded pose. Hand again around the front of the knee, the back of the thigh, like that. Whatever works for you. And then coming back to the awareness of your breath. The awareness of how the breath feels in your body. Where do you feel the breath moving mostly? Do you feel it in your nose? Do you feel it in your throat? Do you feel it in your chest, in your ribs? Or do you feel it in your belly? And so wherever you feel it most, stay right there. And notice as you're aware of where you feel the breath. It means you're in the present moment. When you become aware of your body and the breath, then you are fully present. When you become aware of emotions and mental thinking, you're in the past, you're in the future. You're not present. And so, notice that, don't judge it, and just bring yourself back to the awareness of your body and the breath. The breath is part of the body. And so I notice now I'm feeling it really strongly in my belly, as the belly is rising up to touch my thigh as I inhale, and it's sinking down as I exhale. And try and stay with practice all the way to the end if you can. And stay committed to your practice. It will get you through this. We are here at Balance to support you during this next few weeks. Now you're going to take your left foot up and then take your left hand into the arch of the foot, or you can hold the back of the thigh, whatever works for you, or you can hold your big toe, whatever is your favorite way to be. I'm going to take my hand in the inner arch of the foot. You can see the knee is coming down here towards the floor. It's pretty big this morning as sensation goes. And I'm taking my right leg out a little bit to the side. I'm going to place my right hand back on my heart center to continue to release the oxytocin, to keep my body calm, to keep my mind and my thoughts calm. I'm going to offer all of you some metta. May you be healthy. May you be at ease in body, mind, emotion. And may you be at peace right here, right now. Stay with your breath. And then releasing, take your hands back on knee, maybe making circles, just noticing how that feels in your hip socket. And then take your right hand on the left knee and draw it across the body. Hook your left toes behind the right knee. And maybe take this left arm in gold post arm. This actually feels really good. I'm getting all inside here. This is the lump line, right? This is a place that can be grief or self-compassion. Tuning into this practice is an act of self-compassion. So stay with your practice. And you will feel better after practice. And that's why yoga has been around for thousands of years, because it works. Checking in again, are you aware of where you feel breathing in your mouth, in your body, and noticing if you're feeling anything sweet in your mouth? And close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing that, and just being in your body, being with your breath. There's nothing that we have to do right now. Just gonna be here, present, you and I, fully present, right here, right now. And I'll offer you more metta. May you be happy. May you be free of fear.
in pain, and may you be at ease in body and mind, emotions. And we can offer that metta to all beings. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free of fear and pain. May all beings be at ease in body and mind and emotions. And draw your knee back up. Wrap your hands around your knee. Take the leg up, hands behind the thigh. And just once your hands are interlaced, relax shoulders and arms down. Stay with me in this practice. And then extend the whole left leg down next to the right leg. Bring your hands on your hips. Notice. Notice. Take your arms up and over. Hold the opposite elbow. Bend your knees and open your knees to the sides. And just let your body surrender into the support of the earth. Mother Earth will take care of us. And just visualize Mother Earth wrapping her arms around us in an embrace. And I know that sounds so esoteric, but it works for me, and hopefully it works for you. So in this particular pose, we're staying back, we're opening up again in the shoulders. That's the heart and the lung meridian. We're extending here in the stomach, or in stomach and spleen. Stomach and spleen out of balance is over obsessive thinking, and I have certainly been experiencing that. We're in open up the hips in the inner groin area. That is the liver and the gallbladder. That's agitation and anger, resentment, those kinds of emotions, sometimes depression. So in this particular pose, I'm pretty much opening all of the major meridians in the body. We'll get into some back bending, and that will address the kidney line, kidney and urinary bladder, and that's the place of fear. So that's really important during our practice today to address that as well. So float your arms down by your side, take your hands under your knees and draw your knees together. And then bring your knees in, wrap your arms, and roll from side to side. And then rolling up to a seated pose. So I'm going to invite you to sort of check in right now. Notice how you're feeling. Take a pause. Feel the anxiety is still there. Again, hands to heart center. 3 parts of mindfulness of self-compassion. Placing your hands on your body to release the oxytocin. Notice what it is that's in your mind. Maybe fear of our circumstances. And then offer yourself some words of encouragement. This too shall pass. Everything's going to be okay. Stay with practice. It keeps the inflammation really low in the body. It keeps our nervous system settled and calm, and we'll get through this together. We're in this together. So the next little part, We're gonna do some back bending. So you take your blanket or your towel and don't go and roll it too much. So you roll it a little bit. So it looks like about that, right? So that's probably enough for me. And once you're down here, you may want to actually unroll it if it's too much. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to take the rolled blanket right behind your heart center. So it's right if you had a bra strap on, right? Right behind the heart. Here's the heart center, it's right behind it. So you can see that it's actually a pretty big back bend in my body. And I've got my arms in goalposts. If this is too much, unwrap your blanket a little bit. If you find it hurts, unwrap the blanket a little bit. So we're going to start here, and I'm going to invite you to bring your hands up overhead like you're holding onto a block. If you have a block, by all means, use it. And so just as you inhale, you're going to reach your arms up, and then as you exhale, bring your arms back down. And then inhale again, reaching arms without having the arms come out of the shoulder socket. And then as you exhale, let your arms float back like that. Super straight. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms float back. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms float back. Let's do that about 5 times with your own breath. And then after the last round, then settle your arms in goalpost arms. If this hurts your shoulders, you can take your arms straight up to the sides like that, okay? And just settle in. Let the blanket be part of your spine. Think about your spine wrapping its way around the blanket. Notice any gripping. See if you can surrender all gripping. This is a little challenging for a lot of us. If it's too much, just come out. You're going to stay another half a minute or so. Close your eyes. Go back to your breath. Okay, so now what I'm going to invite you to do is you take your feet under your hips like this, and you're going to lift your hips up, and then you're going to move the rolled blanket so it goes right to where the ribs are. So you can see I only went a couple of inches, so this is actually really big in my body. I think I'm okay, I'm going to stay. So now the blanket is a little further down, and again I'm going to just allow my spine to surrender right over the rolled blanket. So again, you can bring arms up. Inhale here. Exhale, floating back. Inhale, do maybe 5 rounds of this. Exhale. And then I'm going to come back into goalpost arms again. Now, if you want to change that up, you could take your hands behind your head like that. Okay, so that might be more comfortable for you. Whatever works for you. And really think about surrendering the spine and let the spine wrap its way around that rolled towel or rolled blanket. Again, this is really big. I mean, the sensation is pretty strong in my body. So things to notice in your spine. If anything feels electrical or sharp, it's important to come out. The other thing you can do is you can lift your hips a little bit, lengthen your tailbone away from you, and then try taking your hips back down and see if that gives you a little more space. So from here, this is a short hold. The next thing we're going to do is lift hips. Take the rolled blanket, bring it under the thinnest part of your waist. So find the thinnest part of your waist and then let the blanket go there. So This is actually pretty big too, so just do the best you can. And if you need to make a thinner rolled blanket again, please do that. Okay, the next part is you're gonna lift the hips. This should feel really good. Lift the hips and move the roll blanket underneath your lower hips, your sacrum area, and then take one knee and the other knee. That feels awesome. Take both legs up towards the ceiling, legs up the wall pose. You could point and flex your feet. You make circles with your ankles. You can open up and close your feet like penguin feet, like a penguin. Windshield wiper, whatever works for you, right? Just encouraging the reversal of the flow of blood and also of chi. If you want to really get the backs of the legs, you can have your legs float back. You get the hamstrings here too. And this actually feels really good. I'll stay here for a little bit. Just do the best you can. And in ancient tantric yoga, which I know a little bit about, states that we're already completely whole within ourselves. So we go to the studio, we practice barre, we practice pilates here in yoga, vigorous yoga, yin yoga, and a lot of us are runners or bikers, with the sense of always trying to improve ourselves as though we're not already whole. And in tantric tradition, we're already completely whole within ourselves. And that's a really important piece to fully understand and really understand in the body. We're already whole. And the reasons that we don't know that, some of us, is cultural. We're always somehow trying to make ourselves better in some way, improve ourselves. Maybe our upbringing has taught us that. Trauma, addiction, mental illness, all of these types of things keep us from the awareness that we're already whole. So think about like peeling each layer off, peeling the layers, and then within us, deep within us, there's a realization that we're all completely whole. And every spiritual tradition states the same thing, right? We are made in God's image, and so God is perfect, is perfection. God is perfect love, and we are made in that perfect love. And so we are already whole. So from here, taking one knee, again, like that. Pause here for a little bit. And then take the other knee. The other piece of understanding it, really understanding it in your body, in every part of your body, that you're already completely whole, then what happens, it brings us into communion with everyone else. That we start to see other people the same way. We start seeing those who are difficult to be with as their form of suffering, and that beneath all of that, they are whole as well. And so then it brings us to that place that we are actually so interconnected with each other, that we're not separate, and we're not meant to be on separate paths, that we're meant to be in communion with all other beings. And there's something really beautiful about that. And then you're going to take both legs down. So you can see I've got this underneath my hips. Taking both legs, I'm going to take arms overhead, just like that. Coming back to breath. And then bringing knees to chest like that with the rolled blanket. Gonna bring feet down and remove that, okay? We'll roll over to one side and press ourselves up. And just notice, how do you feel now? Do you feel any better than you did when you first began to practice? So all of our practices are moving the chi and letting the chi move more smoothly. And chi is not just for physical body, it's also for the emotional body. Helps us to feel, I feel a little bit better. So we'll come into butterfly pose. And so you're gonna take your feet like this, and it's a nice diamond shape here. And then kind of getting on top of your sitting bones, slide your hands forward, tilt your pelvis, bring your hands maybe here, and then round down. And stay folded forward in your practice as I talk to you a little bit. Okay, so just listening to my voice, but maybe closing your eyes and staying in your butterfly pose. And so, in Chinese medicine, when we have emotions, emotions are simply movements of energy. And it said we have high vibrating emotions and low vibrating emotions. We don't have good and bad ones. So in our culture, we think emotions like fear and anxiety or grief are emotions that are not desirable. And then love and joy, equanimity are emotions that are. In Chinese medicine, they're all very, very important to have and to acknowledge. So think about what emotion you're having and what is trying to move through your body. And staying with that, really contemplate that. In tantric tradition, emotions are messengers. So there's a similarity, right? They're messengers. What are the emotions trying to teach you, and what are they trying to tell you? And so I find that to be really helpful. So if you find that you're in a place of a low-level depression, sit with it. Of course, full-fledged depression is a whole other different thing. But if you're feeling a little bit blue or a little bit low, stay with it, sit with it. What is this trying to tell you? What is trying to move through you? And allowing that to happen with your practice. So stay in your butterfly pose. And it's perfectly fine to move around a little bit in butterfly, right? So you're here and you're in your butterfly pose. Maybe a little bit of movement. Take a deep breath, look up maybe, and then fold back over. If you need to rest your forehead, you can do it like that. If this is too much for your spine, if you have osteoporosis, you may not want to come to a full rounding down. Maybe this is how your pose looks. If you find that you're leaning back like that, and there's not a lot of movement tightness, then maybe this is how your pose would look. So there's a lot of options here in your butterfly pose. And then slowly come out of butterfly. Take your knees together, notice how you feel, and then have your feet more than hip distance. And move this away. And then you're going to windshield wiper your knees back and forth. And then the next time your knees go to the left, stay right there and take the right hand all the way up and all the way behind you. And walk your elbows down. And then maybe rest your forehead down. Use a good place to have a couple of pillows or a couple of folded towels or blankets. If you need to support yourself on that, go ahead. So you can fold your blanket up like this, and you can maybe rest here like that. You can turn your head this way if you want, if that feels good, or you can come all the way down, whatever works for you. So as we did, we're doing the twisting pose. Stay where you are as I talk. As we do the twisting pose, we're getting right into stomach and spleen, right? From the over-obsessive thinking. We're also getting into the kidneys. The back bending poses we did over the rolled blanket gets into the kidney meridians. And that is really about fear. In Chinese medicine, depleted kidney energy can manifest as fear. It can also manifest as, a low energy, can't follow through on any of your projects or tasks. Sometimes when I get into a fear place, I find that I can't get anything done. I can't finish any project. I don't have the energy. I have this sort of sense of unease. So I find the back bending poses, the twisting poses, really helps me to feel so much better. So try that and see if that works for you. And then going, maybe walking your elbows a little to the left to come deeper, walk your elbows to the right to come out a little bit, and see if that works for you. Surrender down. We'll stay one more minute here. And then come on up. You're going to come back. We started with our knees bent, windshield wiper. Again. And the next time the knees go to the right, you're going to take your left hand all the way up and all the way back behind you. Okay? Coming down on elbows, coming down on a blanket, like that. However it works for you. And I'm going to just turn around and do it over here so I can see all of you. You can see me. And so, coming back into the pose, into the twisting pose. And I just want you to know that I have so much gratitude for being here, for having the opportunity, to film my practice. This is the way I practice at home quite often. And I have so much gratitude for each and every one of you, my students. Not only do I learn from you, hopefully I bring something new, or a new idea, or a new way of seeing things. That's my intention. But I also learn so much from all of my students. And you push me along on my path. You push me along. So I am so grateful for that. And I look forward to all of us coming back together soon. So stay for another minute, if you're able to. inhale, come on up. And then come back to center. Cross your legs. And we'll begin the same way. Bring your hands over heart center, right? And we're going to inhale the count of 6 and exhale for the same amount of time. So if there's anything left as far as anxiety or tension within your body after this practice, hopefully this will take care of it. Your breath is everything. So we'll do it together. I'm going to inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do 3 more on your own. And then bring your hands to prayer hands, your thumbs to your heart center, and bow your head to yourself. May you have peace. May you be well. May you be at ease in your body, in your mind, and in your emotions. Namaste. Shanti, 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 peace.